I think, doing magic and studying magic and researching the psychology of it has taught me a lot about how on our day-to-day, in our day-to-day lives we can be deceived, whether it's by advertisements or politicians or whatnot. And it kind of gives you, I think, a little bit of an angle into how easy it is to be manipulated. And I think that makes you a little bit more cautious and a little bit of a better observer. You learn a lot about the fallibility of memory, so you start to question your own perspectives. And I think that's good because it actually makes you more, in a way, more humane and more understanding, because you realize that your objective perception of reality is flawed. And I think that gives you more sensitivity to the fact that, different people see different things, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just sort of part of what it means to be human. And so I think it helps you see the world through other people's eyes, because when you're doing magic, you really have to know what they're seeing, right? You have to see the tricks through their eyes. So there's definitely connections between magic and all kinds of science. You can study math. There's a whole literature on mathematical magic and card tricks. There's neuroscientists who have teamed up with magicians to try to model experimentally what magicians seem to understand intuitively about the brain. But I think within that context, magic exploits these cognitive mechanisms that have been etched in our brain, and there's things that have evolved over millions of years. For instance, our ability to focus on something, to focus on a lone task. Magic exploits that by getting you to focus intently on one thing and then doing something else, and hiding the secret. And magic exploits these perceptual mechanisms that are very primal and very basic. Everything that's useful, everything that's a strength, that's a virtue, kind of has this flip side to it. Kind of has, you sacrifice something. To be able to pay attention means to one thing means you kind of don't pay attention to other things. Or to be able to make patterns and see patterns means you also sometimes make patterns where there is none, or infer a connection between things that isn't true. And so magic is sort of about turning these assets against us, where you're fooled because you're human.